Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm hairy everywhere else except my face.
Hogs are going to dribble it out. Cal's going to have a sweet, sweet win. 0, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Cal saying, don't shoot. This ball game is over. Arkansas has come to Kentucky. The rush of photographers to midcourt as Cal greets Mark Pope in the handshake line. And the Razorbacks have won the ball game 89-79. The national story, Z, will be Cal returning to Lexington and winning a game.
This is The Morning Rush.
I wanted more from life than 4 kids and a wife and a job in a dark Kentucky mine.
Man, that's one of those games you save on your DVR till the end of time. I rewatched it yesterday, and I'll probably rewatch it once or twice again this week. What a victory for this Arkansas basketball team. 89-79, the final in Lexington inside of Rupp Arena. I'm sure there's going to be many hot takes here on this Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. We've got one guest this morning. Clay's not going to be with us. He's going to be with us later on this week twice, so looking forward to that. But I want to hear from you. Like, of course, you're going to react to what we saw on Saturday night. But, like, does this change anything for this Arkansas basketball team? I know that sometimes wins affect me a little bit in the sense of, oh, well, maybe they'll turn it around. Maybe there's something here. Maybe Cal found his starting lineup. Maybe he found the rotation. What did you take away from Saturday night's performance inside of Rupp Arena in a game that I couldn't have expected anything the opposite of what they did? I mean, we said it last week. We didn't think Arkansas, Tommy, was going to cover. We didn't think they were going to win. And they didn't just win. I mean, they dominated that second half against Mark Pope and the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was one of those days I think we'll remember for a long, long time. And hopefully there's better memories ahead. But there was one big difference in this game than what we've seen so far through conference play till Saturday night. We'll talk about that as well. It's Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Ask about employee pricing. They got things going on right now that are exciting with big discounts on big brand names like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley. So get that and get out to Wheels RV. Get the lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. We'll tell you more through the next 2 hours. It's Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV in Springdale.
How about that start?
DJ Wagner to Nelly Davis, top of the circle, three-pointer good. Wagner out high, gets a screen from Ivisic. Pick and pop, Zavonimir for three, and it's good. Top of the circle, back to Wagner at the top of the circle. Right side, Firo, three-pointer good. Carter for three, and he drains it from the right wing.
And I don't know how you felt watching that game. I was a little pessimistic in the sense of there's no way that we can keep this up. There's no way that they can continually to shoot at the clip that they were. They have 9 of 18 in the first half, 3-point wise, 50%. They've been a dreadful team all season when it comes to the long ball. And yet, for whatever reason, they were clicking on Saturday night. Nelly Davis had his best game of the season. 18 points was fantastic. Carter Knox was great. Adu Thero looked like he'd been in that gym before, which of course he has as a Kentucky Wildcat. The biggest stat for me is 52. 52 points from DJ Wagner, from Zavonimir Ivisic, and Adu Thero. The combined score of the 3 Wildcats that were there last season. And Tommy, Mark Pope wishes he had DJ Wagner. I mean, they didn't have a point guard. Lamont Butler being out in that game.
Not what I read on all the message boards last week.
Lamont Butler. That's
not what I heard in the calls to this show.
Being out. And by the way,
they didn't want him anyway.
And by the way, DJ in Boogie's absence has averaged 12 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. In Boogie's he's had a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. So I thought John Rothstein put that out. So that's a position. It's not his natural position per se. He's kind of a smaller combo guard, if you will, but he's had to play more of the point guard role, and he's done a good job. And hopefully, again, you can use and catapult this win. You don't want this to be the pinnacle of your season, right? You're happy it occurred. You're hoping that they can figure out a way to see what they did on Saturday and turn that into something. Like, by the way, you got back-to-back rivalry games. We haven't played Texas ever since they joined the SEC in basketball. This is the first time you're going to Austin. You're going to the Moody Center, otherwise known as the Uterus Center. I mean, you got back-to-back games where you can beat your two biggest rivals in college basketball.
And it's really more of a rival in the school. But you're right. It's a rivalry. And it's a game that I think if you're going to make any kind of tournament run, it's a must-win. I mean, you're down to 10 games to go. You got 2 SEC wins. 6 of the next 10's like a minimum, right? 8 and 10's like to just cross your fingers on Selection Sunday. You better be at 8 and 10. I don't think 7's going to get this team there. So to me, you got to beat Texas twice to probably rack up 6 more wins in the next 10 games. So I don't want to say it's over if you don't beat Texas, but I mean it puts your back to the wall probably against Bama. I mean, it'd be a great time to go 2-0 this week. But to me, the paramount win is Texas just because of what's left ahead of you.
And I said this in the offseason. I've said it since I saw this schedule. The biggest game of the season was not the Kentucky game. It wasn't. And I know that you guys are probably flummoxed by that response this morning. But the reality is your biggest game of the season, this is upcoming Saturday against Alabama. That's the best team you'll play at home all year. That's an opportunity for another quad 1 win. We'll see what I think Texas is a quad 1 opportunity Wednesday night, and hopefully they will be when they come to your building later on this season. But the biggest game of the season is this Saturday. From an emotional standpoint, we were talking emotions and our sales meeting this morning. From the emotional standpoint, it was this past Saturday in Rupp Arena.
Yeah.
But your biggest game, the most consequential game of the season, is the Alabama Crimson Tide, who are the second best team in the SEC when they come into your building Saturday night. It's not a day game. It's another Saturday night matchup in Budwell. By the way, there were not any good games on Saturday in the SEC. I mean, it was a bunch of blowouts. Like Arkansas and Kentucky was really the only one that lived up. Ole Miss and Auburn was close, and then Auburn pulled away late. But if you go back, I mean, just look at the scores. There was a bunch of blowouts. Now, there were some good college basketball games. My dad was pumped. Baylor came down from 21 down against Kansas at home.
Broke the 20-point rule.
Yeah, and ended up beating the Jayhawks. You and I were talking before the show about the Houston Cougars and the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
What a game that was.
The Texas Tech coach got tossed within the first 5 or 10 minutes.
4 minutes into the game.
4 minutes in the game. They end up
winning. Player and coach got ran.
And they end up winning in Houston. Duke in North Carolina was not a good game. Cooper Flag went off. That was not much of a game. So really, the only good game of the SEC outside of the one in Oxford was in Rupp.
Yeah.
And nothing else was great.
You know, and speaking of emotions, Colton, I'd hate to be someone that got emotionally wrapped up and made the decision not to go to Rupp after I'd set my mind on I'm going to this game. But then emotionally I get so wound up that I miss one of the great moments in Razorback history. I'd hate to be. How would you even cope with those emotions?
He coped.
How would you deal with that regret?
He coped and made up for it.
That regret, if I had been in that boat, 'cause I'd never planned to go. But I know a guy who had planned to go to the game, make a 10-hour drive because, by God, I'm a real Razorback fan, and then bailed on his own team because he got emotionally wrapped up in it.
Well,
and now, I mean, I would think in the pit of my stomach, if I was there, the regret would just be eating me alive on this hot take.
I didn't want to have to deal with all
you toothless nitwit inbred.
I didn't want to have to deal with me in person
because
that.
Then if I had said publicly on maybe a radio, well, but my team's not going to win, they're going to lose, they're going to get their brains beat in, and then I didn't go, and I missed one of the great moments of my lifetime, my young, maybe say 30-year-old lifetime. Colton, I don't know how. I mean, it may take a team of psychiatrists and psychologists to deal with the regret this person might have. Of course, all of this is fictional that I'm making up.
Of course. I would say that person would hypothetically be due for some well-needed R&R in Phoenix this weekend. So,
skipping out on the Alabama game, which may be like one of the other great moments.
Yeah, and that was scheduled a year, or this trip was scheduled a year ago. But
how would you live with the regret?
I'm sat next to 3 Morning Rush listeners during this game. And I told him, and I said, we bleeped up. We bleeped up.
Well,
and this is again.
Does anyone believe that they'd actually won if you were there?
In the building?
I mean, your record behind enemy lines.
If basketball is good, hold on. We have two little friends. The basketball one is good. The football one is not. That all being said, it comes down to one simple phrase. This is why you play the game. If you would have bet on Arkansas, you would have won a buttload of cash.
On the money line, you would have.
Yeah, on the money line. This is why you play the game of college basketball. And Cal has ruined it. He's ruined our life. He's ruined my life so many times. Inside of Rupp, in Bud Walton. I think about the times I've been hyped up for this matchup over the years and then just wanted to blow my brains out after the game. Tyler Eulis, Arkansas assistant coach. I remember, I think it was 2016. I am jacked up for this game. He scores like 24 and Arkansas gets beat by like 25. And I'm thinking to myself, of course, we get our hopes up again and now they get brought down. You know what's funny about this game? And I heard it was Owe, who by the way is a great player. Oklahoma transfer, fantastic, had 10 points in this game. He is a baller. But it was funny to listen to him talk trash to a Georgia player when the Bulldogs beat him earlier this season, saying, this is y'all's Super Bowl. Georgia went on to win that game in Athens. The funny thing is, this is probably the first time in the history of Kentucky basketball that the opposing team was their Super Bowl. This team, Arkansas, came inside a Rupp Arena in a game, in matchups that Kentucky so often has been the other team's Super Bowl, and they choked it away so bad. And it wasn't just them. Arkansas stole this game. They punked them, pick an adjective, pick an adverb. They figured it out on Saturday, and they just shot the blistering piss out of the basketball. I mean, my goodness gracious, 13 threes, second highest of the season, just an unbelievable performance. You got Cal talking about that. Listen, I didn't know jack about Redwoods. Did y'all hear Cal after the game?
Yeah.
Where's this clip? He's talking about Redwoods after the game, and I had never, ever heard this before. Why am I not finding it? I'll find it at some point. I know it's on here, but he was, I mean, just the intensity level of those guys after the game. Here it is.
Let's be real. We've lost some games, and these guys could have let go of the rope. And I talked to them about the redwood tree. I'm reading about California redwood on the coast. That beautiful big tree, but the roots don't go deep. They go out. Yeah. And it's like, well, what about the Santa Ana winds knocking it into the ocean? And the thing is, the roots go out, and they wrap around the other tree. So all these trees are intertwined. You got to blow them all over. You can't blow one over. And that's what I talked to him about.
Played like a team on Saturday night. Hopefully this won't be the only time they do that the rest of the way. 10 conference games still remaining.
Now, I don't know if there's going to be any tickets available. It may fill this building for the first time, cram jam full for Alabama.
Good point.
If you're looking for tickets, go to SeatGeek.com, the official resale marketplace for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Tickets for this week and other home games will be available. You can find them there. Also, baseball season starts, it's 2 weeks from last Friday, the 14th, so a week from this Friday. You can find those tickets there as well. But get ready for Saturday night, Arkansas and Bama, Bud Walton Arena. Find your seats at SeatGeek.com.
All right, plenty of text we'll get to. Also got some comments on our YouTube as well. But first, we go to Kevin and Rogers this morning before our opening drive. Kevin, you're on the Morning Rush. Go ahead.
Hey, Ty, Tommy. Good day to be a Razorback. What a game.
Yes, sir.
Great. I told my wife Wednesday night, I said, don't be surprised if they go in there and win. I've seen so many rivalry games, former coaches. It's just kind of the way it works. You know what she said, Ty? She goes, well, you're going to go to Bet Saracen and take the money line? I said, I'm not that confident. I said, I'm not that confident. But I said, if we made 12 or more
threes. She called you out, didn't she, Kevin?
She did. I said, if we made 12 or more threes, we'd win the game.
You're right about
and we
that.
did. So, another comment. You know, Rupp's worth at least 10 points, probably. Mm-hmm. We blew them out. That was a 20-point win. I mean, it was. I don't care what the final score looked, but you gotta take in the home court advantage, just like they do at Bud Walton. That's worth 10 points, especially that crowd that night. I mean, that's like winning by 20 at Rupp.
Well, how many teams would Arkansas beat hitting 10 or more threes? I mean, there's a lot of games that would have come out different if they had been able to do that.
Yeah,
They bottled it up Saturday night, and the question is why? Was it the emotions? Was it playing for their coach? Whatever it was, or was it just they had the hot hand that night? Whatever it is, that was the difference in this team versus the team we've seen for the last month and a half.
Kevin, by the way, they hit 9 the game before against Oklahoma. They were 9 of 27, if I remember.
Yeah, I thought that would be enough to beat Oklahoma, but they just didn't make the play.
They'd hit 10. They would have.
That's just. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think, and I called you the other day. 8 wins will get you in the tournament. I just looked at our schedule, and with me, I check net rankings every day. I'm hardcore. 8 out of the next 10 are quad 1 games. That's how tough it is. 8 out of 10. The only 2 that aren't going to will be LSU and South Carolina, which they can't lose to South Carolina on the road. They have to beat them.
All right, so Kevin, do you worry? Because I worry about you could get there with a bunch of other 8 and 10 teams, and that LSU loss down at Baton Rouge could come back to haunt you. Is that in the back of your mind somewhere?
Yeah, because you look at Texas, they beat them by 30 down there.
They did,
over the weekend. I mean, and you're like, and I've watched Texas. I saw that game. They came back 20 points against A&M. I never thought that happened to a Buzz Williams team, and they did. Tremont Mark did to him what he did here last year, beat him at the buzzer.
Back to back.
Yeah.
So, but I really think this is what I think, because they had the practice issue, the injuries, blah blah blah, all those excuses. But I think the week off helped.
No question.
They only played 1 game left. I mean, that gave them more time to kind of get whatever, because they've been playing 2 games every week. But the only thing I'd like to see, and I don't think he's healthy. Jonas has just got to play better. We're going to need him. I mean, there are going to be games where you can't rely on the 3-pointer. We didn't have a post game in that game. Think about that. I mean, we had some dunks. Fast break points were good. Theroux was our low post game. I mean, so that's going to be tough, because there are some teams that have a post game. You go down to A&M. You know how they play. And the officiating's always horrid. They'll go to the line 40 times probably.
They're good at that. Well, Kevin, we appreciate you calling in this morning. If you want to jump in with us here in the next hour and 40 minutes, do so at 877-377-6963. Now, I know not all of you follow the net rankings like Kevin does, but that does lead to an interesting point here in our opening drive.
Now we're going on to the next game. We got Sunday off. Yeah, but we're getting home at 1:30 or 2. We practice Monday, Tuesday, and travel and go to Texas. That's easy. I mean, this doesn't end. And all you want to rack up is quad 1 wins. Just keep racking up quad 1 wins. That's the most important thing.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
Nicole, you kind of labeled out their schedule the rest of the way. You got 10 conference games remaining, then the SEC tournament, which Arkansas, in some cases, it doesn't really hurt or help teams. Arkansas is going to need the SEC tournament in Nashville, I think, in order to really solidify. You think there's an opportunity? What, they moved to 47 in the net rankings? Mm-hmm. Okay, and they're at 59, and I think Kevin said there's 8 in the next 10 games or quad 1 opportunities.
Look this, and you may know, 47 puts you where in the SEC, though?
I think it's somewhere. I think it's around 12 or 13. I'll have to verify that.
Verify that.
Before we do that, we need to get a little bit of clarification for everybody listening on what a quad 1 win is and how these are helping, because sometimes we get a little bit confused. It's a victory against an opponent considered to be in the highest quality based on their net. It's a home win against a top 30 team, at a neutral site against the top 50, or on the road against the top 75 team. So those are all the opportunities that we have left with all these games left. Now, I know that Chuck said this morning we need 5 wins. I'm kind of in that camp, Tommy. I know you think that we need 6. And my thing is that I think that we can squeak out one of those wins in the SEC tournament. But like Kevin said, and he's a guy that's been obviously watching the net and stuff like that, we're going to need a little bit of help. And that's from everybody else in the SEC too. So you need everybody else that's kind of gotten off to a good or a solid start to kind of fall down and go to a skid. Like Kevin said, you can't afford to even lose the games that won't be quad wins, or quad 1s like LSU and South Carolina. So you have to get those 2. Plus, Ty, you mentioned it, that Alabama win, that's one that you almost have to get in order to make the tournament. So it's there, but the thing is that they have to build on exactly what they did last Saturday, which is play outside of themselves. I'm not sure if they're capable of keeping that level of a shooting clip, but what they can do is defend at the high level they did all night Saturday night. Because let's be honest, in that first half, that first 15 minutes of the game, Kentucky couldn't miss. Robinson and Brea, all those guys were pulling up and they weren't missing a shot. But we stayed with them and we weathered the storm. So that defense all night I thought was good. If they can do that, they can eventually find themselves in a position to be there at the end of games, use that toughness and that grittiness to squeak out some wins that could end up helping them come tournament time.
I disagree on the Bama game. You'd love to win the Bama game, but I don't think that's a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can afford to lose the Bama game at home, but that's it the rest of the way. You've
you're
got to
only
beat
gonna have one
LSU,
more,
you got to beat Missouri, you got to beat Texas, and you got to beat Mississippi State in the other 4 home games, and then you got to find a road win at South Carolina. I think you can afford to lose at A&M and at Auburn, but you're going to have to beat Texas this week on the road. You're going to have to get a road win at South Carolina. It wouldn't hurt to win in Nashville against Vanderbilt. But to me, you've got to get 6 of these last 10. You need to compete against Bama, but, in the end, I think you can afford to lose this Alabama game.
All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. What are your thoughts on Arkansas's 10-point win in Rupp Arena? Clay, again, is going to be with us on Thursday and Friday. No Clay today, so we'll have plenty of time to jump in here this morning.
Amazing how he wants to come on when you're gone.
Yeah,
just amazing.
It's funny how that works. Well, Clay did text me this morning. Him and Sarah actually went to Cart Pass Social this weekend, had a really good experience. I think he was practicing with his irons a little bit. You can practice, you can play, you can do it all at Cart Pass Social, the #1 indoor destination for all of golf in Arkansas. Check them out, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622, or online at cartpathsocial.com. It's BYOB at CartPath Social. Again, like you guys were messing with me earlier, just to hear the boos ring in when he walks into that arena. Al, again, was very, I thought, cordial to Kentucky fans before and after the game. I know this surprises you. I wouldn't have been that way. Arkansas gets it done. They're all toothless inbreds. They can all go to hell this morning. You went down to their building and you beat their brakes off. Congratulations, Arkansas basketball. You got it done. Even when your own fan base counted you out, including myself. Hog update coming up.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Novo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Well, I'm drinking. There ain't much else going on.
This is the Morning Rush.
New for 2025 at the Golf Nut. Now in stock, Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons. Coming January 30th, Ping G440 Woods and Irons and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Plus, they carry a full line of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Looking to improve your game? Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators. Call today to book your appointment. Visit the Golf Nut today at 5121 Towson Avenue and elevate your game. The Golf Nut, your style, your shop.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
Oh.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Tried to dribble, handoff. Richmond knocked it away. Billy with a steal to the other end, and he throws it down. Billy Richmond with a one-hand jam ties us at 20. Richmond with a rebound. Lead court, Knox. Carter with a two-hand flush, and the Hogs are up one. Knox is running the floor to the other end. Two-hand flush. And the Razorbacks lead it by 11.
How about the true freshman stepping up with some of the biggest dunks, not just in the game, but really of the afternoon, the night, the whole day? Billy Richmond, Carter Knox, a couple guys that, remember correctly, were committed to Kentucky. We've talked all week how important this game was for Cal. Kentucky fans obviously felt the same way. For Dew, for Big Z, and for DJ, guys that played here last year. But, Tommy, you got to remember also some guys that were committed to Kentucky. I know Boogie would have loved to play in this game, but they wanted to show out just as much as the other guys did.
Is this team getting a little better without Boogie? I mean, has there been some addition by subtraction?
It makes Cal run different action. It makes him get in his bag and try and find the best possible offense for them to score. I think that's a great point, Tony.
And so on that note, that's a good point about the offense, because I know that we've talked about being stagnant at times, and you just wondered, hey, what's going on? Why haven't they figured this thing out yet? And it's been a little frustrating at times. Cal said something about that after the game.
We really locked in to making sure there was clarity. How we were playing offensively, if it broke down, what was the next action? And if it was 8-9 seconds on the clock, what were we doing to finish? What we were doing to get pin downs? What we were doing to grind it?
Sometimes when you play, like even just in a pickup basketball game, and maybe there's an elite player over everyone else, you kind of just tend to ball watch at times. And I know Boogie had, like, again, he had a good assist. He was like 4 or 5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. He just couldn't find a shot in SEC play. So he did his best to get others involved, but it seems like you kind of alluded to, Colton, this team is more in sync offensively. And I give credit to a stat I referred to earlier. DJ's like 12, 4, and 3, 4 to 1 assist to turnover ratio since taking over the predominant point guard role. Billy's had to play a little bit of it since when the backup role and everything else. So guys are trying to figure it out. John L had his best game of the day. He was fantastic. I mean, he banged that first three, and I'm thinking to myself, man, is this where he's going to go off? Ended up having 18 points and the efficiency of 7 or 14. He had, I think, 18 points the game before, just didn't shoot the ball efficiently. So, yeah, there's some encouraging things you like after this game on Saturday. No question about it.
Yeah, and the question is, can they continue to shoot the three? And you don't have to maybe make 13. You're not going to Rupp Arena. You're not going to need those extra points. But, 9 against Oklahoma wasn't enough. Can they? Is it 10 plus? Is that the right number they need to be at? Is that the right mix? What? I'm on the train that the 3-pointers were the big difference for this team. Now it's 2 games in a row they've shot well. Mm-hmm. Is that the difference? Is that the magic elixir moving forward?
Yeah, this team is second right now in defense in the league. They're not like that. We keep saying the same thing over and over. Like, you look at some of these scores that they've lost this season, outside like Tennessee, where they just got housed. Like, they've lost close games, like single-digit games. But if you look at their percentage, it was like 37, 38% overall. The three-point line was even worse. It was like 20-something most of the time. So, yeah, if they actually shoot the basketball, this team has a chance to win 6 of their next 10 games. Especially when you look at, yes, you've got to go to Auburn. Yes, Alabama comes into town this weekend. You can split the game against Texas. South Carolina hasn't won an SEC game all season long. Hopefully it's not against you. LSU's coming to your place. Like, while there's still quad 1 games remaining, you've actually got, I'm not going to say easy because it's not easy in SEC, but a maybe less difficult back end of your schedule.
Path.
That's probably
it's a manageable path to win
you.
6 of 10. You don't have to beat Bama. You don't have to win at Auburn. You don't even have to win at College Station. Now, you do have to win at Columbia, South Carolina. You do have to win the other home games. And, and I think that'll get you. I think you've got to have a minimum number of wins and a decent enough net ranking to get there. What did you say, 47th earlier?
They're 47th earlier, which is good for 14th in the SEC.
That's the problem. They're 47th. Well, where do you got to be? You better be inside probably. If you want to be comfortable, you want to be a likely selection, be in the top 10 in this league and be somewhere in the 40s or better, low 40s or better. And I think if you're 10th in this, what's 10th right now in this league? Probably 35th?
Yes, 35th is
that's
Georgia.
Good guess.
Nice
guess. So, I mean, that's probably the aiming point the rest of the way. You want to be in the mid-30s and be around 10th in this league, and I think you're in the tournament.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so Betty, one of our team members here, gave me an emergency during the break. I'm not sick, but for whatever reason, and it's not just our offices that have dealt with this, but it seems like in the last week or two, everyone's getting sick, Tommy.
The flu's going around, COVID's going around. Yeah, it's ugly.
You got any specialty
My wife didn't
remedies?
feel good. No.
Things that you do? each and every day, each and every morning?
Just get outside, fresh air.
You don't put any onions in your socks and go to sleep with them or anything like that?
Nope. Just keep that immune system up there. Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it's powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Get the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell in the Apple app or Google Play Store.
All right, we continue on the morning rush here on a Hot Take Monday. What are your thoughts again on this victory? Does it mean Arkansas legitimately has a chance for the tournament? Is it a one-off? Was it just they played at that height, that moment Saturday night, but we won't see it the rest of the way? We've got plenty of text that we'll filter through. Got some comments as well on our YouTube stream as Arkansas gets it done 89-79 over the Kentucky Wildcats Saturday night in Rupp Arena.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
This is the Morning Rush.
He's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Come on along. Head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains. It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side by side for 16 years and older.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
What's so funny?
Well,
you had your head in your hands during the break. I was wondering if you were okay.
I have 3 great friends, Nate Garahan, Christian Olsen, and Ethan Adamson. I realized that I did the Cart Pass social read in our opening drive, and
I didn't even.
I was wondering about that. I write them down every day, and I just thought that you were switching stuff up.
Maybe I'm still recovering. This is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, but I'm going to tell you about First Financial coming up in a sec. I'm surprised you didn't notice that. You're usually on top of those things. It's par for the course around here.
Yeah, I just get
5 years together. We do have a fun little montage coming up that we're going to play.
Okay.
Good job, Colton.
We've kind of beat around the bush on this, but let's just get it down to brass tacks here.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
10 games left. How many does Arkansas need? What's the absolute minimum to get into the tournament? You're 2 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
10 games to go in the regular season.
Okay.
You're 14th in the league in net ranking at 47th nationally. Where do you need to be? What's the conference record absolutely have to be to say you're in the tournament before you go to Nashville?
I think you got to win 6. I just can't. I know the SEC is just insane this year, but 7-11, I am not confident. Selection Sunday, if they lose in Nashville and they're 7-11, they lose Wednesday. By the way, there's 4 games Wednesday night now. It used to be 2. So you got 8 teams in Nashville on Wednesday night, which is not typical, but yeah, Tommy, I think you got to win 6 to be 8-10, where you can be confident.
I agree. I think you've got to win all the home games except Bama. You got to beat LSU. You got to beat Missouri. You got to beat Texas. You got to beat Mississippi State. There's 4.
Okay.
All right. I think you got to win on the road at Texas this week. Was that Wednesday night, the 5th?
Yeah, Wednesday night. Yep.
I don't think you have to win on the road at College Station or at Auburn. Thinking before that, so that's 5. You've got to win at South Carolina. That's 6. And for a bonus, if you could win in Nashville against Vanderbilt, that would give you 7. I think that's the ceiling. Number 1 is 7. I think you've got to win 6 to be in the tournament and not have to go to Nashville and win a couple of games. That means you're going to have to beat Mississippi State at home. That might be the hardest one left from the standpoint all the pressure may be on that game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to win several on the road, including Wednesday night at Texas. I'm with you. I'm in the camp of a minimum of 6 of the last 10 to feel like you really got a shot. Now, we could talk about whether you've won 2 of 8 so far. What makes you think you can win 6 of 10 it's amazing what one win can do and change the perspective of what you think is possible the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm not confident. I don't think in that situation now. Colton, what do you think?
I think the only way that you could win less than 6, if you potentially, or less than 6 of your next 10, is if you win 5, and one of those 5 is Auburn, on the road, something like that. But not that it even gets weighted that much. I just think that if you only win 5, you basically have to make it to the semifinals of the tournament, and even then, you're just waiting on hope. I think that the committee is going to have a really serious issue come Selection Sunday if there are a bunch of SEC bubble teams, because it'll be a witch hunt if a mid-major school gets left out.
Appreciate it. And again, we got callers and texters we're going to get to coming up at 877-377-6963. We talk about branding all the time in sports. We talk about my hatred for the brand that is the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Alabama football, I was getting tired of them winning all these years. You think about teams and brands. For the first time in a while, you have a brand that if push comes to shove, if it's down between you and another team like that mid-major or another SEC team for that matter, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Not because of your basketball program, but because of Cal. It's the first time in how many years has that happened? Since Nolan? In any sport? I mean, the reason I don't mention Dave Van Horn in baseball is because they're not ever on the proverbial bubble of the NCAA tournament or the setup for postseason baseball and everything. But if it comes down to it, and your basketball program and your team is amongst a handful of others on the bubble, our favorite phrase this time of year, you're going to be given an NCAA tournament bid. There's no doubt in my mind.
The thumb of CBS will weight the scale.
No question. And I am always angry.
Is it more interesting with or without Cal in the tournament?
I think that when the ratings come out for this game come Monday night or come from Saturday night, you'll know how big of a brand he is when it comes to college basketball.
But you've got to win 6 of these last 10 to even put yourself in the conversation.
And you have to have some help from the rest of the SEC. Yeah. Like Auburn's got to start losing, and Alabama's got to drop a couple. I mean, you've got to have some help from everybody else too.
So are we on that magical sports drug called hopium? Are we on hopium this morning? Hopium?
I had a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, we got a little hopium problem down here.
Jamie and May texted in, pressure would be all on the remaining games. Noah says at least 5, 6 is in. Again, there's several tough games remaining that you have to.
Cal has said 8 and 10 will get you in this year. Problem is, there's 4 teams at 8 and 10.
Missouri's another a tough game. They'll come to Bud Walton.
Better split with them. Better not let them have a season sweep over you.
Yeah, on the 22nd. Again,
LSU, better split with them. If you lose to LSU, it's probably over.
That again is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. And instead of a good radio host, I read the wrong read earlier. So during our opening drive. So I'm going to tell you about Ethan Adamson and his team at First Financial Mortgage. They've been in the business over 90 years at First Financial. Ethan's had over 300 5-star reviews. You can give him a call at 479-782-9300 or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Man, you got a big nose. You got a big nose. All right, let me talk to this group. On behalf of DJ, Adu, Z, it's
inside the locker room after Arkansas's 10-point victory. I think Cole and I were talking about during the break. So there's been there's so many thoughts, so many verbal messages, social media stuff from Kentucky fans about how Cal is this, Cal is that, or whatever. And I'm not going to say it's extinguished, right? Because this team still might not make the tournament. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. But at least you can tell them to shove it for a while now. I mean, you don't play. By the way, they'll come to Bud Walton next season. I don't know if you'll get to go back to Rupp. But they got nothing they can say. They're having to cope with Pope right now. They're having to deal with that because this was their savior, their king, 1996 NCAA champion, and the remedy for all the failures of John Calipari the last 4 or 5 years. Well, he was an ultimate failure. He got out-coached so bad on Saturday night. You talk about the intensity level, not playing zone against Arkansas, moron. Like you don't change any defense whatsoever.
He kept putting the wrong guys in too, Ty. It was ridiculous.
Listen, I'm not trying to discredit anything Arkansas did on that floor on Saturday, but my goodness gracious, it was like going up against a junior varsity coach Saturday night.
Wow.
He won you. Like Cal, I think what he did for Arkansas fans, and again, I don't know what's going to happen here in the next 5 years. I have just said over and over, I mean, if they don't make the tournament this year, that's one NCAA tournament win in 5 years. That's not Hall of Fame level. Now, he's got a lot of past record prior to that. But at least in the minds of a lot of you are like, okay, I'm going to jump on this train now. I'm going to see where it goes. I'm not going to say it's going to take you to the promised land. I have no freaking clue. But for some of you, for the first time, you actually bought into what he could do here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Hot Take Monday. What are your hot takes following the Arkansas-Kentucky win? It's brought to you by Wheels RV. For a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth-wheel dealer in the state. That's Wheels RV. Employee pricing, you pay what their employees pay on a huge selection of new and used RVs, including some 2025 models. And you'll find your favorite brands like Grand Design, Brinkley, and Forest River, but also Vibe and Nobo and Flagstaff as well. And you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV that's sold. Employee pricing exclusively right now at Wheels RV in Springdale, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Now I know we're 50 minutes in, and you want to talk about the Grammys, don't you? I know you've been itching to talk about it.
Had it on following golf in 60 minutes, and it was on, but I quickly found something else to watch.
I guess Rory McIlroy wins.
Held
this
on
week.
1-2 at Pebble. Yeah. Kind of fell asleep during 60 minutes, listening to Tariff Talk, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up and the Grammys was on.
Were you locked in? I watched. Clay will be proud of me for the first time in his life. I started to watch Ted Lasso this weekend.
Great series.
I think I'm 10 episodes in. So instead of watching football like I customarily do every Sunday, I was watching Ted Lasso. But the Grammy stuff made its way to my phone on social media, but I did not take any in. It sounds like you did at least a little bit of it.
Well, it was on the TV. I don't know. I couldn't tell you who performed. I didn't watch long enough, but it was on. I guess that's why the golf finished a little earlier yesterday, so they could get the Grammys in. But I did enjoy watching Pebble Beach.
So
I watched the whole thing. It was terrible.
Was it terrible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grammys?
So
terrible.
The reason
I mean, yesterday was a bad TV day.
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing.
if you're not a golf fan, I like watching Pebble Beach, but I mean,
What a gut
first
punch.
of all, the weather was beautiful here, so I got out and played 18 holes, and then, and then took a little nap. But I mean, there wasn't a lot. I saw guys that normally are glued to the TV on Sundays because of football that were out doing other things because they didn't have their fix with football.
Yeah, there's nothing. You got it Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And the reason I tried to bring in the Grammy stuff, like, who do you give a gold star to from Saturday? Of anyone on that floor for the Arkansas Razorbacks, who are you the most impressed with during that game? There's a lot of, like, it's very easy to have different opinions and different takes with how great most everyone played. I know that Jonas Adu has gotten some flack here this morning, only played less than 10 minutes, but who are you most impressed with Saturday night's win? Was it a freshman? Was it a former Kentucky player? Was it John L. who finally went off? Who stood out to you on Saturday night? We'll answer that as we get into hour two.
All right, a week from yesterday, the Super Bowl rolls around. If you haven't downloaded the Bet Saracen app to your phone, be sure and do that. 2.5-point line with the Chiefs favored over the Eagles right now. There is, dozens and dozens of prop bets, and not just the spread and the money line available in the over-under, but many, many others that you can find with the Bet Saracen app. So download it now. You'll see it all listed under NFL Championship because they can't put the name Super Bowl on there, but you'll find all the bets for Sunday with the Bet Saracen app.
All right, so Chief Keith chimes in. He was Nelly Davis. That's his guy. 877-377-6963. Player that stood out to you the most in the 10-point win over the Wildcats.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the
website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meinke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side by sides are 16 years and older.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our highs this afternoon will be into the lower 70s, clear to partly cloudy, upper 40s overnight. Tuesday, I think we'll see just a slight chance of a little rain, otherwise partly sunny. Highs on Tuesday into the upper 60s. Wednesday, a chance of showers in low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I would just say I'm not set for the priesthood or taking one of those vows. I just don't know how they do it.
Hogs are going to dribble it out. Cal's going to have a sweet, sweet win. 0, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Cal saying, don't shoot. This ball game is over. Arkansas has come to Kentucky. The rush of photographers to midcourt as Cal greets Mark Pope in the handshake line. And the Razorbacks have won the ball game 89-79. The national story, Z, will be Cal returning to Lexington and winning a game.
This is The Morning Rush.
I wanted more from life than 4 kids and a wife and a job in a dark Kentucky mine. A 20-acre farm with a shack.
You know, I yearn for knowledge. I yearn for to learn things each and every day. Well, on
like
this this very show, as we're celebrating 5 years together, Merle Haggard, Kentucky Gambler, because I did not know Merle Haggard.
That is not what I would call a staple, an A-lister.
It's not.
It's not going to be on his best hits.
I'm going to be honest. I typed in songs about Kentucky this morning at 5 a.m. and that popped up, and I was like, okay, I can use this as a hey. I didn't know who Merle Haggard was at one point in time, and now I do.
Well, it's true.
Listen, you can teach a young dog new tricks. Now, Daniel chimes in this morning saying, Tommy watching the CBS Terrapipe explains what. It's never too late for an old dog to open their minds. And then he quotes Herbert Spencer by saying, contempt prior to investigation is the only thing that will leave a man in everlasting ignorance. What a way to start hour number 2 here this morning on Hot Take Monday.
And it's brought to you by Wheels RV. Employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas. That's Wheels RV. That's right. You pay what their employees pay for a limited time in February on a huge selection of new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models are included as well. Big brand names like Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. And you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV that's sold as well. Employee pricing. You'll only find it at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Big Z's going to try a 3. Left wing, good. Savannamere. Wagner steps back, top of the key. 3-ball, good. Avicic, right wing. 3-pointer, good. There's an open shooter. Step back 3 is good from Carter Knox. Finds Brazil open in the corner. 3-pointer, good from Trevin. Nelly's open. Right wing, 3-pointer, good.
A barrage of threes for Arkansas in this 10-point win Saturday night. 13 of 25, over 50% shooting the basketball. Kentucky only shot, I think, 38% in the second half, while Arkansas, again, was just unbelievable from the field. Not only did they shoot the 3-ball well, but they just shot it, again, consistently. Ended up, for the game, 55%. And can you expect 52% from 3 the rest of the way? Probably not, but a lot of guys contributed. Got a text from Brandon this morning. He credits Big Z and Nelly for having the best games. He asked, again, you give a gold star to someone this morning, who would it be? Son in Bologna texted in about DJ's veteran leadership, even though he's only a true sophomore. Really felt like that DJ Wagner was the steady hand. Isaac from Mount Ida chiming in, saying it was nice to see Nelly Davis having a good game. JT in Hot Springs saying also DJ Wagner for playing the point guard role. Again, that was a role when Boogie went out, you knew DJ was going to take it over. You just didn't know what to expect. Is he an All-American? No. Is he one of the best players in the SEC? No. But he's what Arkansas needs right now? You can make that case. He's been pretty good in these, I think, 3 games now with Nelly, or excuse me, with Boogie out. So, again, it really was a team effort. Cal talked about that a lot after the game, but you just talk about the performance again. The number I keep coming back to, 52. Adu Thero, Big Z, DJ Wagner. That's what they combined for on Saturday night.
That's why I have a hard time leaving Adu Thero out of that mix, and probably at the top of my list. Not only did he lead the Razorbacks in scoring, one behind a game-high 22 from Amari Williams, but I mean, he's the guy that every team that scouts Arkansas, that plays Arkansas, who's priority one to stop? Adu Thero, right? I mean, so for him to still get 21 points, get to the free throw line 12 times, make 10 of those, I think was a great night for him.
And you also think about Arkansas's lack of post presence, which Kevin and Rogers brought up earlier. That's really, I mean, you think about Adu either driving or posting up at times. That's kind of what they utilize. Now, are you going to be able to do that against, say, Auburn, Janai Broome, Dylan Cardwell, or some of these other, like Alabama's got some size too. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know much about Texas front court heading into Wednesday. Curious to see how Arkansas can take the success that they had Saturday night and then, again, push it to do something the rest of the way. Now, Cal's talked about it. They're going through growing pains, and they didn't just end on Saturday.
I feel bad I'm putting people through this, but these are the growing pains of a program. And we needed a breakthrough win to put us on another path so we can write our own story.
Is there a path? Is there a story still to be written about this basketball team? Again, you don't want this to be the high point of your season. It might be. Like beating Kentucky in their arena in a game that they have anticipated since the beginning of April when Cal took this job as the Arkansas head basketball coach. It was their Super Bowl, and they lost. Bad. Arkansas kicked their ass. Now you wonder, again, can you kick someone else's tail? Could you beat Texas on Wednesday? Could you get the biggest home win of the season against Alabama, top 10 team, probably the second best team in the SEC, only trailing in-state rival Auburn? I mean, there are a lot of games remaining in the 10-game conference schedule left, plus you got the games in Nashville too. So the term opportunity, it's there. See if this team can take advantage of any of them.
Do you feel like you're as good or better than enough of these teams going forward? Do you feel like you're as good as Texas?
And they've picked it up a little bit. You can compete.
But Texas is not leaps and bounds better than Arkansas. Alabama is. I don't think Arkansas is as good as Alabama. Nope. I don't think we'd argue that. LSU, I know they beat you down there, but particularly on your home floor, I think that's a loss that's going to possibly come back to haunt you. Don't think you're as good as A&M. Don't think you're as good as Auburn. Missouri, Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, all those teams I think you're as good or better than. And Mississippi State at home, I think that's a toss-up at worst right now. That's the last game of the year, so too early to really say. And they got thrashed on Saturday by Missouri.
Robertson, and that game I think was in Starkville too.
Yeah.
If I remember that right. Robertson
they had a stinker.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into more of those in your SEC update. Robertson, Fort Smith this morning. Robert, go ahead.
Hey, guys. I felt like this Saturday's game, they played as a team. I mean, they were passing the ball and looking for shots, getting shots, and I don't feel like we did that earlier in the year. But I really felt like that they played as a team to win the game. And I'm hoping they'll keep doing it. I just want to see what y'all think about it.
Tommy brought up the point about Boogie Flan, this team without him. You won 2 games now in conference without Boogie Flan. And again, I think he's going to get some stray shots with these wins that continue to happen. People will blame him, which I think is a little unfair. They just offensively, I think it is fair to point out that the ball's moving more. It's not stopping. And it's not just, again, pick and rolls side to side. They got, 17 or 18 assists in this game Saturday night. So that's just fair. That's not me taking a personal shot at him, but the offense, again, has looked better at times. Now, there are going to be points in the season where they get stagnant and you wonder what's going on. Well, you're playing against some pretty salty defenses and some good teams. You're just hoping that these new roles with the 8 guys that are going to be playing from here on out, they really lean in to whatever those are. You brought up Adu Thero, who's been the best player, bar none, on this basketball team consistently all year long. There's going to be games where teams will just completely game plan for him, double team him, hard hedge, do whatever they have to do, take him out of the game, and other guys that are going to have to step up, whether it's John L. Davis. Trev hit a big 3 at the end of the first half. I mean, there are little instances in that game that if Arkansas doesn't hit that shot, Kentucky might go on a roll, and we're talking about something different. But each guy stepped up in an important moment Saturday night. You're just hoping that's not the only time they do that.
782-3936. That's the number for the Fence Man. We'll recap our picks from Friday with the Fence Man here in studio coming up at the end of this week. If you need anything involving fencing, gates, powered automatic gates, industrial, residential, commercial projects, top of the scale to bottom of the scale as far as scope of work, they can do it. 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We've talked about Thero a little bit this morning. He talked about the emotions of getting a win for his head coach.
I'd say he probably feels great about it. Nobody wants to come back to where you were at for a long time. He was winning there. Nobody wants to come back and lose. So getting that dub, we had to do that for him. He's always had our backs. We felt like tonight we had to really have his.
He's talked about, and now coming back to Cal's talked about all season, it's like trying to get these guys, will them to wins, get to victories and whatnot. I watched him consistently through that game on Saturday, him on the sidelines, and just like a big 3 would be hit or Arkansas would make a defensive play, and you could tell how excited it was. It's not easy. We talk about players and the emotions they go through from time to time for big games, whether at home or on the road. It's not also easy as a coach. Like, I can't think of another experience for someone for Arkansas in recent memory that had to go through something like that. I mean, we talked about Coach Sutton didn't play Arkansas after he went to Kentucky.
You bring up a good point because I did notice his body language and reaction to some big shots, particularly in the second half where you're shooting in front of the bench and he's there in the background. And maybe I haven't watched enough of just him during the game, but he would turn and like pump his fist and do this little shuffle with his feet towards half court. Is that kind of what you noticed on some
100%.
big moments? And
like we're almost there.
I haven't seen. I mean, you could feel the excitement coming from his body language. I haven't seen that. Now, this team hadn't given him a lot of moments to be that excited for, but you could tell that was hitting home with him because I have not seen him react that way to anything at Arkansas, and maybe I didn't pay enough attention to Kentucky. That didn't seem to be normal body language for him.
I get a kick out of when coaches, and this is not just John Calipari, but when any coach out there says that, I don't pay attention to that stuff, I don't pay attention to this or that, and then he says stuff like this.
People had us in the coffin. They just didn't have all the nails down.
That was like that game. You think about what it meant for John Calipari personally in that basketball game. We're talking about. I mean, when I watch games, not just watching the players, I'll occasionally look over there because I did with Muss, I did with him. Like that, he hasn't done that all year. So you've got a situation where you've had media. Of course, the entire Kentucky fan base was against him, and now you get to send them happy messages this morning here on this beautiful Hot Take Monday. But you had a lot of people that didn't believe that Cal had anything left. And again, you're 2-6 right now. You got a long way to go, not just the rest of the season, but in the next 4 or 5 years. But from a personal standpoint, I know he won that national championship in 2012. I know he got back in 2014. I know that team went undefeated all the way up to the Final Four game against Wisconsin in 2015. I could make an argument that outside the national championship win over Kansas, that's probably his favorite win. I mean, I don't know him personally. He's not going to say that publicly, but I think you can legitimately make a case that outside of that win over the Kansas Jayhawks back in 2012 for the national championship, that's probably his favorite win.
Yeah.
Right?
Got to be up there. Got to be up there. I mean, no one in vindication, like the sweetest thing you can do? When someone says you can't, you won't, you're not talented enough, we're better than you, we're, all these things that he heard. And then you vindicate. I mean, that to me is about as sweet as it gets.
He didn't seem very archaic Saturday night.
No, again, that would be Mark Pope. They're having to cope with Pope this morning. Josh and Harrison is someone that lived in Kentucky for 7 years and still has an office and customers in Kentucky. I'm loving this. Half the fan base went from Pope is dope to no hope in Pope in one night.
No hope
think,
in Pope.
Think about this. So Kentucky, they got hot at first at the beginning of the season. You think about some of the ranked wins that went over Duke earlier this season. I mean, Pope could do no wrong in Lexington or anywhere else for that matter. And they slipped a little bit. They did we got to remember, they beat Tennessee pretty good in Knoxville earlier this week. And so it's not like they limped into this game by any stretch of the imagination. Again, forecasting into March or whatever, we have no idea what's going to happen. But the trajectories of both teams are going to be very interesting to watch from a fan base that was supremely confident in their head basketball coach that they don't know what to do right now, to a fan base that was, what is going on? Why can't we win a conference game, to the biggest win of the season? And now there's suddenly, what did you say, hopium earlier? Hopium. Now there's hopium. You got another rivalry.
Well, are we overdosed on hopium?
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we don't OD on that. You got a rivalry game again this Wednesday night in Austin, and then you play your biggest home game of the season against the Alabama Crimson Tide, a top 10 team, this Saturday. So you suddenly feel like, we got a shot. And if you win on Wednesday night, kind of like we were talking about earlier, it's gonna be hard to get a ticket come Saturday.
So let me ask you if there's a little bit of fool's gold with the timing of all of this. I'll do that in just a minute. I first want to tell you about Oaklawn. They've got big races coming up at Oaklawn. They've got the next big stakes race is the Rebel Stakes on February 22nd, all to the road to the Arkansas Derby and eventually the Kentucky Derby. It's a $1.25 million stakes race. The Arkansas Derby is coming up March 29th. Plus, you'll also see the Apple Blossom Handicap on April the 12th and the Oaklawn Handicap on April the 19th. So still lots of reasons to download the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Get it in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Use the promo code RUSH25, RUSH25, and get your $150 sign-up bonus for the Oaklawn Anywhere app from the Morning Rush and Oaklawn. You mentioned the game against Tennessee, middle of the week. That was a Wednesday night game, if I recall correctly. Road game for Kentucky, right?
I can't remember if it's Wednesday or Tuesday.
But the point is they had to play midweek and go on the road. Arkansas had the week off. How much is that a factor in this game? Kentucky traveled. I know it's not a long trip, but it's still getting on a bus, getting on a plane, getting on a bus, going to the arena, 2 days out. All of that, doesn't really matter if you fly an extra hour or so. You're still going through the motions. Arkansas didn't have to do that. Now, they had to travel to Kentucky, and they did that going to Lexington on Friday, but fresh legs, clear mindset, a week off. How much of that's got to be something in all of this?
I think it played a pretty crucial role when your team is down to 8 guys. I know that they're college level kids and that they'll be in the best shape of their entire life. But if you look at the number of players that play for other teams, whether the beginning of the season, at this juncture of the season, Arkansas needed that. Again, you don't get that luxury the rest of the way. And when Nashville begins, Tommy, you don't even get a date. I mean, you play and then you play the next day. So, yeah, I think it played a crucial role for Arkansas. And Oklahoma benefited the week before. So I don't know, in terms of Arkansas having that setup versus other teams, I don't know what that looks like here in the coming Saturdays. Like, I can't tell you if Alabama has a bye midweek
off. The master schedule. But the midweek buys just began a week ago, not this past week, but the week before. We'd have to go back and do some digging, but it wouldn't be hard to do at this point. What are the records of the teams coming off the bye? Because there's not a lot of teams playing with 10. There are a few, but I mean, most of them are, 8, 9, 10. Very few are playing, with 3 waves of players, 12 plus. That break's got to be a big thing.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a big edge for Arkansas Saturday.
And again, this is such a different feeling than what you're used to. I mean, this is Cal when he was at Kentucky.
You're gonna hate me. because I come to your town and we beat your team.
And that's what you felt when he came to Fayetteville or when he went to various other pockets of the Southeastern Conference. And now, again, they've never felt this in Lexington before. This feeling of disgust towards a guy that was so revered for so long. And then that mentality, that thought collectively from that fan base has switched a little bit. And you were joking about message boards earlier. The message boards right now are insane. The media. So, again, I don't know if I necessarily qualify as a media member. I'm just a fan that talks about this team on the radio each day from 9 to 11. But the media room, that entire facility in Rupp felt like a morgue after the game. It felt like death had just occurred inside of Rupp Arena, and good. Like that.
Well, how do you know? Were you there?
I wasn't there, but I got text about it. We don't have to go down memory lane again. That will be something in terms of a sporting event that I missed on my own accord. I screwed up. I should have taken the 10-hour drive, taken the lumps, whatever. That will be one of the biggest regrets in my entire life. Is not going to that game.
Seems like I heard that message about an hour ago.
Yes, I know.
Someone had a gnawing feeling of nauseousness and regret in the pit of their stomach this morning.
Oh.
We all know the reason they won is because you weren't there. Your record behind enemy lines is horrific.
No, that is just
horrific.
In football. Big Ron and Van Buren said, I think the key was that Ty didn't have a chance to make it.
Yeah. 100%. Raise your hand. Keep one hand on the wheel and honk your horn or raise your hand if you think Ty shouldn't go to the postseason this year. Boy, I hear a lot of hear that? Bunch of horns out there. So hopefully we got horns down though come middle of the week on Wednesday night.
If you could just the bliss, if you could beat Kentucky and Texas back to back from a fan base that's been starved for much of the season. And again, you hate Texas. Now, when you think Texas, you think football. That's where your mind goes. You've had some good baseball series against them too. But again, the most iconic outside of the national championship, Sports Illustrated, something we talked about last week, it's Sydney dunking on Texas, Mr. Moncrief. Like this is still a huge rivalry when you think about the history of it.
All right, so it's 8:00 for Texas. That game is Wednesday night. Saturday's against Alabama. Is that 7:30?
Should be 7.
7. So here's what I want you to do. Make plans. If you're thinking about a new boat or something new for the water for this year, you've got all day long throughout the week and through the weekend, beginning February 6th through Sunday the 9th at the Rogers Convention Center for the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo. So whether you're into fishing, kayaking, or just soaking up some outdoor vibes, this event has it all, and it's right here in Northwest Arkansas. Meet some amazing vendors, get a look at the latest gear, and grab some great tips for your next outdoor adventure. So don't miss the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Adventure, February 6th through Sunday the 9th at the Rogers Convention Center. You can go and hang out, do that, Ty, right before you go to the Arkansas and Alabama game. This is where your next adventure begins, is at the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo this weekend.
They were good.
Let him talk trash, Coach. Let him talk. He was getting talked to all the game leading up to it. Just let your voice be heard this morning. If you have a Kentucky family member, friend, confidant, whoever you associate with that dons Big Blue, make sure they know that your team beat them in their house on Saturday night. More of the Morning Rush when we come back.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Novo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith. Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side by side for 16 years and older.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
And Tennessee comes out of the scrum with the basketball. Chaz Lanier, transition three. Tennessee's got the lead.
Man, SEC was a wild one on Saturday in terms of the blowouts. Tennessee crushes Florida 64-54. Tommy, they only had 7, I think, scholarship players in that basketball game.
Yeah, I was listening. We aired the game on most of our ESPN Arkansas stations because the whole game was so late that night. And as they came on the air, they were talking about Ziegler not being available for them. I'm like, well, Tennessee's getting ready to get rolled. So when I saw that outcome, the final outcome of 20, I'm like,
Just
wow,
confused. I was confused like you were. Auburn gets a big win. They're still undefeated. They beat Ole Miss 92-82. Ole Miss reeling. They won't be ranked, or they're not ranked, I should say. Alabama wins again, 90-69. I've been saying top 10. They're going to be probably top 3, top 4 here when they come into Fayetteville this upcoming weekend. Arkansas again gets that 10-point win over Kentucky. A&M beats South Carolina, while Auburn still hadn't lost. South Carolina still in one. They lose 76-72. Maybe the most surprising outcome outside the one in Lexington, Tommy. Missouri goes to Mississippi State, wins by 27 in Starkville.
Yeah, and how about OU winning by 30 over Vanderbilt?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not surprised OU unranked won at home against 24th ranked Vandy, but 97-67, that surprised me.
Texas defeated LSU 89-58, and that wraps up the SEC games of the weekend. I also want to mention, so we had an opportunity. We heard from Hunter Yurchek on Chuck and Bo and Ryan White last week as well. Am I saying Ryan's last name, Tommy, or did I bleep that up?
No, I got it right.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. His head of Razorback Foundation. Just clearing some things up. I know basketball reseeding is not the conversation here this morning. It's Arkansas's winning rough. But
you talk about a shot in the arm for those guys at the foundation.
Yeah.
They were probably high-fiving more than anyone.
I did see, again, we've talked about what Danny White's doing with the talent fee in Knoxville. Their athletics director, Keith Carter, Perryville's own, with Ole Miss. They're raising season ticket prices as well. There's donations. So, listen, I don't want to make it sound like I'm excusing what's going on, because I get frustrated just like you do, but it's not just happening in Fayetteville, the rising of prices. That doesn't make it right, fair. It's just, is keeping up with the Joneses the correct phrase here? Is that just with NIL and what you're having to do with raising $25 million between scholarships and revenue sharing?
I hear people all the time talk about Sam Pittman, and he's making $5-something million a year. And how he, and having a commentary on what he makes, as if in making more, making less always equates to wins. And I get that that's a fan take, but where does that rank in the SEC? I guarantee you $5 million is not in the top half any longer. So I mean, what do you want to pay a coach? Well, it's the old adage Chuck always talks about that Frank Broyles said: if they're winning, you're not paying them enough, and if they're losing, you're paying them too much.
That is a all-time phrase.
But where do you want to be? Because right now you're at the top end of the scale in basketball. You should have a realistic. You have the right to have expectations above average when you're paying that much.
Mm-hmm.
Football, you're not paying above average in this league any longer. So I mean, how much do you want to invest to be where you want to be? And that's a hard one now, because now the offering plate's being passed in front of all of us, even as fans. Can you throw a 20 in, bro? Now they're asking the big time donors to go from 25 or 30,000 to 40 plus. So, we're all getting the offering plate twice a service now here in Razorback Nation.
Well, speaking of the offering plate, John, did you see, we've talked about seeing Cal on the sidelines. We, of course, watched the game on ESPN. Did you see John Tyson? Did you see any?
I saw the red Tyson jacket with the logo behind the bench, but it never panned up when I was watching enough to. I figured that's who it was.
That's who it was. He got interviewed after the game.
It's a great college basketball game. We made a few more shots than you did. If you make the two technical shots at the end, you'd been into a different game in the last minute.
Audio's not great, but you talked about vindication earlier with Cal. Does John Tyson and Warren Stevens, do they feel a little more vindicated here this Monday morning?
One game, if this is it, you'd only win 2 more games the rest of the way, and you end up with a 4-14 record. Does this game goes down as a footnote? So it's got to be the start of something better ahead in the last 10.
What I said, if you have DVR, like this will be on my saved video stuff till the end of time. Like, this is one of my favorite.
Still got that Kansas game from a few years ago.
Yes, that was that win over the Bill Selfless Jayhawks was just immaculate. But this game, I mean, to do it there's something about winning in another team's building or on another team's field or on the other team's diamond. I realize games when you upset a team at Bud Walton or Donald W. or Bob Walker, it's awesome. But when you do it in someone else's house, there's just a little more
It's a good thing we didn't win this game at home. We couldn't afford the court storming, and they'd have stormed the court on this one. So Probably a good thing it happened at Rupp Arena.
Vanderbilt had to pay $500,000.
Mhm.
No, hold on. Sorry. $500,000 plus $250 plus $100. So what is that? $850
Yeah.
in the last 7 months
Mhm.
with wins over Alabama, Kentucky, and I forget the other team they beat. But yeah, they've they've had to pay a chunk of change lately.
All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. The Super Bowl is here this Sunday, February the 9th, Kansas City and Philadelphia. Download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and sign up today. The Super Bowl is has so many wagering options. They have them all with Oaklawn Sports, outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, and game props. Even the coin flip and the national anthem and all that's going to be there as well. You name it, you can probably bet on it with the Oaklawn Sports app. If you're a new customer, sign up today and you can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you are automatically enrolled in the promotion. You can receive a second chance on your first bet each of the next 10 days for up to $100 each day with the Oaklawn Sports app. So bet with the brand you trust, bet with the name you know, bet with Oaklawn Sports.
One of my hot takes this morning is just end the Pro Bowl. Just end it. Like the game, it's a shell of itself. It's not entertaining. Just eradicate it, delete it, don't play it. It's not fun. I don't think the NFL is ever going to do away.
Why'd you watch it?
I watched it. I watched, no joke, 2 minutes of it. And I said I can't take it. Can't take it. So in that is my hot take here this morning. Big C, I'm going to guess his hot take is that he's going to do away with being a Dallas Mavericks fan. The biggest national storyline on today's radio show is Luka Doncic traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And listen to the Dallas play-by-play guy once this thing goes down.
Everyone, I'm Mark Bonneville. Devin Harris will join me in a minute. I'm sorry if I look a little haggard today. Like a lot of you, I didn't sleep very well last night. We're stunned. We're shocked. We're going through it. You all know what I'm talking about. The end of one era, the beginning of another. The news came down last night in reports officially this morning at 10:05 Eastern, 9:05 Central Time. Luka Doncic traded to the Los Angeles Lakers with Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick in the future.
And me personally, I hate the Dallas Mavericks. They beat my Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals last year. The reason I'm a little disappointed is because Daniel Gafford, Arkansas's own, El Dorado's finest, is having a career year. He's been unbelievable this year. He was leading the league in field goal percentage, and I think his numbers are going to go down now. I don't know how Dallas benefits from this. I know that Luka has a conditioning issue. He shouldn't be that fat and be an NBA player and a star NBA player. He's like him and what's his face from New Orleans? Why am I blanking? Zion. They have the same issue. Stop eating, get in the gym. Let's go.
You know he's somewhere in New Orleans with chips all over his belly, just laughing.
No, but you and I, we don't have. Radio doesn't require conditioning. That's why we look the way we look. I think people saw me with my shirt off. I could probably afford to lose a few pounds. But these guys are getting paid to play a game where conditioning is a big deal. And Mavericks fans are furious this morning. But if you're like, if he's this big now, what do you think he's going to be when he gets 30? So, yeah, Christian's going to be.
We've been saying the same thing about you for 7 years.
And I look the same. So, hopefully there is some weight loss at some point in time.
Hey, I was driving by. I was going from our studios at 99.5 to go out to hit 412 to hit 112 the other day. Anyway, point being, that was on Friday. Point being is I drove right by the Arkansas Children's Hospital. They have an expansion going on right now, and we're so proud to be a part of the upcoming Arkansas Children's Northwest Miracles and Magic Mediathon. Together, we can all make a difference for local kids, and every donation directly supports the expansion of Arkansas Children's Northwest. It's one of those places you hope you never have to go. And if you've got kids, and Colton, you've got a little one on the way, you know what? That is not a place you ever want to end up. So you're happy to support a place like this, and we're proud to be a part of it. Upcoming on February 21st, we're going to have the Radiothon. We're going to be there, a part of it. Our presenting sponsors are Crabtree RV and Alma, celebrating 75 years. Heartland Honda and Power Sports and Marine in Springdale. Work hard, play hard with Heartland Honda. And by Slotsky's, it's a mouthful and the perfect partner for your next event catering needs. So join us then for that. So looking forward to being there on February the 21st. Man, what a nice weekend it was. 70s what, 72 degrees across low 70s.
I'm wearing shorts. You're not wearing shorts.
No, I'm not wearing shorts today.
Show off
but
that
you could have shown those legs off yesterday. I mean, it was a perfect day. I played golf, had khakis on, wish I'd worn shorts. It was just a great day. Great time to get to Gaston's because the weather's beautiful. Call now. The restaurant's back open after their winter break. You can get in, have a great meal, overlook the White River. You can stay in one of their cabins or lodges with winter rates in effect through February and March. So don't miss out right now on winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. So whether it's dining at Gaston's or whether it's staying the weekend or a few days at Gaston's, now's the time to call to save a few bucks during the winter rates. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
New for 2025 at the Golf Nut. Coming January 24th, Callaway Elite Woods and Irons. And coming January 25th, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf ball. Plus, they carry a full line of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Looking to improve your game? Schedule a lesson or a fitting on one of our indoor simulators. Call today to book your appointment. Visit the Golf Nut today at 5121 Towson Avenue and elevate your game. The Golf Nut. Your game, your style, your shop.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat.
This is going to be exciting. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Hates for three. It's on the way. Yes! Yes!
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I got to be honest with you, and Adu, he said he did the same thing. I looked up a couple times, and I thought we were losing because I kept looking at Kentucky instead of Arkansas. And I told him I did that, and Adu said, Coach, I did the same thing.
I was laughing pretty heavily when I heard that. Cal, after the game, talking with the media about Arkansas's 89-79 victory, where he, of course, is the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and the Kentucky Wildcats had less points in that game. Glorious night.
You want to have dinner with Coach Cal tonight?
Yes, that's back.
Yeah, we could do that. We can just go to Sassy's tonight, have dinner with Coach Cal and Chuck Barrett, and I'm sure it's going to be a full building tonight at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill, just off the Weddington exit. Probably ought to get there early for this one today, because I imagine there's going to be a lot of people want to pack into Sassy's tonight for Coach Cal Live. His radio shows this evening at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill, just off the Weddington exit. They're on Steamboat Drive. You can stop in for lunch today or dinner at either location, the original Red House on College, or tonight with Coach Cal Live, or lunch today. Get there early at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill. Find everything online, including their menus, catering options, the razor packs, and more. It's all at sassysbarbecue.com. Eat, drink, and be sassy, and be there for Coach Cal Live tonight at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill.
So part of rivalries is not only celebrating when your team wins, but inflicting as much pain as humanly possible on your opponent, the fan base, and anyone else that dons Big Blue Nation. I don't know if you saw the picture for the game, Tommy. Reed Shepherd was wearing an Arkansas basketball T-shirt with the Kentucky shorts. He got asked about it. It's like, Kentucky's my team, but Cal's my coach. I mean, Kentucky fans are in a frenzy this morning. I've got a busy.
And he's an in-state kid. I mean,
he is an in-state kid.
That's
his
big
dad
for
was
him.
Mark Pope's roommate. Like, it's a native son.
Yeah. So on that note, I've got a busy Monday, so I don't know, but I would love to take in Kentucky sports radio this morning and hear the change of tone from what it was like this past week to after the fact. And frankly, I mean, you think about the switch of the vibes here across our state, how Arkansas fans prior to that game, and I'll take some blame on this. I didn't think there was a chance in hell they were going to win that game. No way. Like, no shot that they could go into Rupp Arena. I thought, it's probably 15, maybe 20, like whatever. But not only did they win, they dominated that second half. They shot the best they ever have. And you watch John L. hit that first three, and you're thinking to yourselves, man. But it's not like Kentucky played bad. They're missing a point guard. Lamont Butler's still out. They need him back desperately if they're going to, again, have a strong finish in SEC play. It's not like the Wildcats played bad. Arkansas took that win by every sense of that word.
They shot the ball finally.
Mm-hmm.
The game boils down to that. We can talk about emotion, and we can talk about that building, and we can talk about their fans. We can talk about coaching. But in the end, the difference was Arkansas made threes. Arkansas shot the ball, and they did it from the very outset of the game with Nelly's three that started things off, and they didn't stop. You go make how many games is Arkansas going to lose if they make 13 threes?
Not many.
Not many. And that's, I know they've made a few more as of late. They made 9 against Oklahoma, but one of the overwhelming issues for the balance of this first half or so of SEC play, I guess we're approaching the halfway point, is they haven't made threes consistently.
Yep.
And that's why they won that game Saturday night.
So as we round out the basketball conversation here this morning, you mentioned near the halfway point. You got 10 games remaining. As of Wednesday night, you'll be halfway through the season. What do you kind of feel in the remaining 10 games? Can they get to that 6 mark that we've talked about? I just look at the schedule. Like, the thing for me is the schedule. That's what I keep coming back to, is the teams that you have remaining. Like, the toughest ones being Alabama, at Auburn, at Texas A&M. But then you look at Missouri coming, Texas coming. You go to South Carolina. Vanderbilt's not going to be an easy game, but they got smacked around by Oklahoma this past weekend. So I like where Arkansas' schedule is in terms of just you've still got a lot of quad one opportunities, but it's definitely, the term you use is manageable. That's a great term when you look at the final games that Arkansas has the rest of the way.
Let's go back over to the research desk. Colton's standing by with net rankings. Arkansas is 47th. Where does that place them amongst the 16 SEC schools?
14.
14. So that's what you've got to improve. 14 teams aren't going to get in. I don't know that 47 is a good enough number to get an at-large bid, but 10th in this league is 35th right now. Is Georgia, you said?
Yes, 35th at Georgia.
35 is Georgia at 10th. I think you got to be somewhere around that to feel comfortable going to Nashville. So the more games play out, the more that goes into averages, the less one game's going to move you up or down. You better get some work done over these next 10 games because you're at the halfway part against Texas. That's your 9th game. So not a lot of time left to move these numbers. I'd like to be in the within the top 40 to feel like you got a good shot as an at-large team.
You asked earlier in the show if you don't think Ty should go to Nashville or anywhere else postseason, honk your horn. We got a text earlier that said about 20 cars around they started honking. That's probably on the
Do you think Ty's behind enemy line's record is the reason Arkansas won? Because he was not there. He backed out on his team, the team he proclaims to love. He chose not to go because they're going to get beat, and he couldn't stomach it. No. So now he's filled with regret, a hateful heart this morning.
A hateful heart. Well,
so should Ty go? Just text us on the text line, 877-377-6963. Just text us, Ty, stay home.
I also have a joyful heart this morning because somehow you've stomached half a decade with us together. So on the anniversary, or the first time we did this show together, we have a little montage this morning.
Oh, we burned the tape.
Well, it seems awfully convenient that on the eve of the Arkansas bowl game, you just happen to be on a beach.
It wasn't by happenstance.
For work purposes, so I can expense it.
I'll show you exactly where to put your expense report on that one.
My father takes naps all the time, and he's not a drunk like I am, but he picked...
You're leaking oil with confidence on that.
You sure you want me to read this? This is not me saying this, by the way. This is from Caleb. Tommy Kraft is an idiot. Don't let him out of the stadium. Anything the officials do, because he's a complete moron. What a fool. I know, north, south, east, west.
You're just lucky to get those 4.
Have you ever slapped a bag, Tommy? You know what that means?
Of wine?
Yes.
Well, you have to close. You can't be like me at a bar on a Saturday night. You have to close. You have to close.
Found myself on my roof yesterday. If I fell off my roof and break my leg, does the company pay for that, or does my insurance pay for that? How's that work?
I mean, it's covered by your health insurance.
If I fall off of the station's roof, is it covered?
I will never have you on the station's roof. I promise. I promise.
Or transmitter or something?
Nope, not going to have you up on the tower.
Okay.
I'm smarter than that.
I had to buy a new set of balls this past weekend, BA.
And he's not even talking about golf.
Yeah.
Ty, fortunately, has saved the world and not yet procreated.
Tommy, when's the last time you've had breast milk? When you're a kid?
I've had the old snip, so I guess I'm out on one of...
My dad's had that too.
There's no...
Did that hurt?
It didn't feel good.
Did you have to ice it for a while?
Well, yeah.
How long? You want to
3
keep going?
I complain about losing. I don't want to lose.
Shape up then. Let's go. Put in high gear. Bring it. You haven't brought it these last couple days. Let's see it today. No. Let's see it. Come on.
I haven't brought it?
No.
What's wrong?
You hadn't brought it.
What have I not brought?
It. The it factor. It.
Order me get me a double order of it.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
I did last time. We went skeet shooting when I was a junior in college, and I will say I hit the first skeet that came out of the thingamajig. What are those things called where you throw it?
Was when you pulled and then it tossed in the air?
I shot the first one. Now, I didn't hit the next 10 after that, but I hit the first one, and that's what counts.
Well, I mean, pretty good arrangement there.
It goes on a little bit more.
Good job.
5 years. Congratulations. You put up with me for 5 years. Oh, it's it's always good to go back down memory
That ought to
lane.
put me up for man of the year somewhere. Some Rotary club. That ought to make me man of the
50
year.
under
or something.
50.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, we're brought to you by WT Equipment, your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, service, all in one of their 8 locations that you can find right here in the natural state. Whether you're looking for big time row crop tractors and combines to utility tractors, hay equipment, and more, they have it at WT Equipment. Or if you just need a great lawnmower to get your zero turn to get around your yard this year, they got that as well. WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Find them online at WTEquip.com. 5 years. Doesn't seem like 5. It has moved along.
7 this July total.
Wow.
5 years on the morning rush. First post Super Bowl.
Well, congratulations to you. So I don't know about me, but congratulations to you.
All right, that's going to do it for this Hot Take Monday. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, Lee J, on being with us. Are they been with us 5 years?
They've been us the whole time. Employee pricing is back at Wheels RV. You can find a great price, employee pricing. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale.
The number 1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection